They never make this easy.
Welcome back to ozvrpulse and our continuation of the playthrough of Ghost Town. This time we're picking it up in part 3 where we left off in part 2. But the other difference is this is the PCVR version on Steam that recently released, and it's just a bit better in the graphic context and immersion, so we're going to continue the playthrough using that. So obviously we couldn't go up, so we've got to go down. And our first puzzle becomes this electrical circuit. And so essentially trying to connect the two wires there through that board. And that repairs the stairs there to allow us to continue. Spooky stuff happening in the lighthouse, and obviously some more circuitry. A little bit of music and artifacts from the previous lighthouse keeper. And our first glowing object.
I can feel the energy radiating off this picture. It must have been important to him.
And running the electrical circuit. But we've got another hole there, so we can see here that red light. We're not running through the correct line here. So we're going to have to open this one up and figure out how to direct the electricity through the ones we want. And we really probably don't want to run through the red line there. So that cuts one of those two lines out and appears to run where we want it. And we've repaired the floor there, so we can continue on straight into another electrical circuit. And now we're now under the stairs that are broken up above us that forced us to come down in the first place. So we can see they're moving around. So we've got a couple of circuit boards here to try and solve. I'm going to switch just on the pole there for us to try and... Whatever that did not work. So that would appear to take that bottom red one out. Let's see if that's the answer. Now there are a couple of others coming off the top there, so that doesn't look like that's actually solved that, because we do need them going up as well. That's one option. We'd send it up the top line and that bottom line and cut out the two middle ones. Let's see what that does. No, but the top line looks like it's red, so that doesn't look like it should be going through there. But let's have a look at what we can do here as well, because it's sort of a two-part puzzle, this one. As you can tell, quite immersive puzzles. I'm deep into this as I play through. It's taking a little bit to solve. It's not just walk up and flip the switch. I still don't think we've got this first one right. I don't think we should be going through that red at the top, so I don't think that's correct. And I don't think that's correct either, but I think if we can go one more, I don't think we... I will send through all of the lines. And they do both go through circuit breakers, so that might be okay because we may still get some charge through. So we're coming in from the top and the bottom. So not sure that's going to work without the top, but let's have a squeeze. There's a bit of trial and error here. I saw how that ran up to the top, so that probably top is good. Looks like the bottom and that red maybe not. But also the question of whether we need that top line coming in to be captured. So it does that. That doesn't capture the bottom one, which may be okay. And the stairs have not fixed themselves, so it's not quite the answer. Just taking a second here to have a look at that cabling and just try and figure out where I want this to run, and also whether I need to pick up that bottom cable coming in as well. So that looks a little bit better. That's got the top and the bottom, not sending any out up through the top of the second puzzle though, so have a look. Still not fixed. Can we do that and send out through there? So with a lot of the puzzles in this game, well, that looked pretty good, except that I think we don't want to go through the bottom of the second one. We want to go through the top when I watch that go through. So I think we definitely need it at the top and maybe just from the bottom. Let's have a look. That didn't go anywhere. So not enough charge, so I do think you need that bottom cable. Top cable is getting the power, so that might work. Well, that looked okay. I still think we need to take that bottom part out and not run through that red light there. We really want to run, I think, through the top, through the white light. So we're coming in at the top. We need to pick up the cable coming in at the top. And just that, I think that might be, oh, I think I had it there. I think I had it. Is that one too many? I'm not too sure. Go. Oh, I think that looked good. And I think we fixed that. Changing the music. And that sound would suggest we fixed up the stairwell. So retrace our steps.
Coast Guard, Sky Coast Guard, Guard, be advised. This is HMS Ellswick. Expect to be at Tanner's Rock by now. There is no sign of the lighthouse. Be advised, we may have been blown off course. Over.
Okay, so we're getting a bit of the backstory there that there's a ship approaching the lighthouse, but the lighthouse has no lights, so the ship is extremely concerned that it may run aground without the lights. And we're going back up the stairs to check that we have repaired the stairs. Now, I will say I've just cut a scene there that it's a scene that I just don't feel needs to be in the playthrough. If you played the game, you know what was there, and I've just chosen to chop that little bit out, given this video can be seen by anybody on YouTube. So, okay, so just having a look back down into the world there, not much of any great import to us. We've just got that big pole for spinning the light at the top of the lighthouse. So we'll just continue climbing. So the lighthouse keeper, having heard that message from the ship, is extremely concerned. And you'll love there that just that transition there, we go from the mechanical apparatus to an office desk.
Lighthouse, lighthouse. Do you read? We see no sign of your light in the storm. Please advise. Over.
So we come through, and what do we have here? We have a mechanical apparatus. That seems to open up back to the mechanical part. Just checking there's nothing lying around that we need to pick up. And the room is spinning. You would have noticed that through the wall back there if you're paying attention, through the hole in the wall, that it was spinning. So this is to allow us to stop that spinning. So what we've got to try and figure out here is what we want to do here. Now on top is the markings of a door. Let's have a look, let everything slide by to just get a feel for what's happening out there. So again, really good interaction here because you're in complete control here, pulling that lever, using the teeth to turn or not turn the machine. And I'm lining up that door. Just not quite lined up there. So let's just have a look at that door because checking there's nothing else. Again, just a good survey. Remembering too, you've got to keep an eye out for magazines as you go through the game. They're just good things to pick up. So we don't seem to have an exit there. Hole. But we can't get through that gate yet, so something's not quite right. So the easy solution appears not to have worked. I think we're pretty happy with the machine, but we'll just go back to the office. Make sure there's nothing in here that we need, or any other clues to let us know what might be happening or not happening. And it doesn't really appear so. So the purpose of that was, again, just to give us that growing sense of urgency from the ship. And obviously the simplistic solution of we'll just have the door in front of us has not worked. Now, probably notice we are looking to the northeast. There you will see there's the NE on the door, so let's see. Still hasn't opened any door. Far side, maybe. the northeast as best I can here. Oh. Actual door we're looking for. Oh no, look at that. So a lovely little trick there was they made the door on there, which made it look like a fairly simplistic puzzle, but there was a little bit more to do. So we've now taken away the grating. So it's sort of a two-step process. You couldn't just go to the door in the south. You had to get that handle first, get the locked grated door out of the way. And now I would presume we can bring the door around and we will be able to proceed on. And it looks pretty good there that we can probably head out into the hallway. And being a lighthouse, continue our climb. Good detail here on the walls and the stairs and the footsteps going up the stairs. So again, an office-like setup, and then as we move past there, our apparatus to control it. But you'll notice this time we don't have a handle. So there's obviously something to solve for the handle there. And we're also missing a cog in our machine, so we've got to try and solve something. Let's come over here, there's a picture. Pay attention to that picture. And a safe with some symbols on it, and just to the right of that is a lever to open the safe. Now those symbols, you might have noticed if you're paying attention to the picture, are all within that picture. So a lighthouse, a boat, the moon and a kraken. And if we look at this, we've got a boat, a kraken, and a lighthouse. So the thinking would be we're going to have to adjust the positioning of these to put them in order. So the first one would be the lighthouse. Second one, the boat. You've just got to remember which order. I think the kraken was the last one. So we just need that into there. So we don't have them in the right order. Now, of course, the other thing is which way does the order run on here? So perhaps it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And indeed that does reveal it, and reveals our missing piece from the cog machine. And if we go into the office,
Guard, Skycoast. This is HMS Elswick. We have no sight of a lighthouse and are in danger of running aground. Repeat, there is no light at Talent Rock. Request urgent escort. Over.
so things are getting a little bit more panicked on board the ship. We've now got our missing piece to our door controller. So now we can slide round and add that into there, and we now have control of the doors. And a fairly simple door mechanism here, just simply get the door lined up, grab our trusty torch and continue our climb up. So our lighthouse keeper has a bit of a drinking issue potentially there. That scene's suggesting to us. We've got our controls. And this is a multi-level puzzle in this room, so we've got some electronics to solve because we can't go through the cracked wall there. That checked that out, but didn't really serve a purpose, just a piece of equipment within the lighthouse. And over here, our circuit board. Okay, that didn't seem to go anywhere great, so we're going to have to go around and have a look at what's happening with that one. Not going to be able to get through that wall. We need to solve this. And we need some numbers. Well, there's part of our problem that's not even connected, so that looks like that might work for that. Presumably we'll repair that wall if we can get this right. I think somewhere else as well there's a second circuit board in there. Let's go have a look. Our wall's still lying on the ground, something written on it though, so probably do need to solve that. That wasn't connected there. Okay, a couple of ways. We could connect here. But let's go through that one first. Good. Got the wall. What does that tell us? Oh, 438. Three numbers. Three numbers needed here. So probably 4, 3, 8. And we've got that out of the way. So now we can have a look in here. So a door. Possibly needing power from there by the looks of it. So now we probably need to run the wire out the side there. And we don't care if that wall just recollapsed. No, I think... Yeah, I think that one, go through there. And that's collapsed, but we've got our numbers. I don't think we need to touch that. So in and of itself has not opened the door. And we've got some red lights there, so maybe not getting the power quite where we want. I'm doing everything we should on that one. Everything looks right on that one. Running out the side. We're running where we want it. I think we can do that though. So we don't want to go up the top and rebuild that wall. We know that wall. So I've got that wrong there because I don't think I need to send it up the top. I need to go to the side through that wall there. But let's go see what that does. Oh, it did send electricity through to that wall, so maybe we can have a look at how the door might open as we come back through here. And have a look at... I'd actually stopped there. You might have noticed the cut there. I'd actually stopped playing because I was just a bit stuck on my thinking, so I'd actually picked it up in a new session here, so that's why there was just a little cut there. It's just a new session. I'm just trying to get the door in place. Amazing sometimes when you walk away and you just forget about it for a bit. You come back and you realise, oh yes. So we knew our numbers here were 4, 3, 8. So in the previous playthrough, the thing I'd forgotten to do was actually use the mechanism in the middle. And there we are. We're open and we're ready to go on up, and that seems like a great place to stop our playthrough. We hope you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and look out for the fourth part of our playthrough of Ghost Town. Really one of the great games that you can play on your quest.